fantastic option with Feed Your Family Tonight. And this is Mariefiebach, one of the many offerings that you have for us just about every week here on Good Morning Kansas. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so well. I'm doing so well. Today we're making my grandmother's coffee cake. And my grandmother, she had to raise 12 children, and so one of her frugal things was to take one orange and turn it into an entire coffee cake for the family. So that's what we're doing today.
Delicious. Cool. It smells amazing, and we haven't even made it yet.
Well, I hope. I've kind of been on an orange kick lately. They're in season right now, so oranges are something that I like to use in the winter. I'm going to have you help me, Allison. We're going to start by mixing all the wet ingredients in that large measuring cup. There's a half a cup of milk and a half a cup of orange juice, and you can actually just take an orange and squeeze it, and then 1 egg that's been beaten, and 1/3 a cup of oil. Okay. The oil, this is olive oil. I've used olive oil, I've used vegetable oil. They all work great. And then we're going to get the dry ingredients, which is 2 cups of flour. I always like to use white whole wheat flour, and then 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of orange zest, which comes from 1 orange. A large orange will get you a tablespoon of orange zest, and a half a cup of sugar. And I'll just lighten up the dry ingredients, and then you want to pour the wet on top of here for me? Thank you, Allison.
All right.
And then you just stir it together. It makes kind of a thick batter, and it goes into an 8x8 pan. So I like to line my 8x8 pan with 2 pieces of parchment. So you can see here, I've got my 8x8 pan. I have 1 piece going one direction and the other piece going the other direction, and that makes the cake really easy to lift out. And I spray it with just a little bit of spray oil.
Okay.
And then you put the batter into the pan.
We need to be wary of over mixing, just kind of make it come together so it's just wet.
You've got it, Allison. Anytime you overmix something like a muffin batter or a pancake batter, you get too much gluten development, and it causes things to be tough and not as fluffy as they should be. So you just want to mix it until things are barely mixed. You can see there's still a few little pieces of dry flour in there, not a lot. And then just take a spatula and spread it to the edges. And then here is the best part. This is my streusel. This streusel is 2 tablespoons of butter, a half a cup of sugar, and a 1/4 cup of flour that you just mix together with your fingers until it's all crumbly. And you just pour it on top and then put it into the oven. It's going to bake at 375 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. And I have one here that I made this morning. It's still warm from the oven, and I like to cut it into squares. To be honest with you, my favorite piece is the middle piece because it doesn't have the outside. So you can get yourself a corner piece or a middle piece.
I like the corners.
And again, this is a super easy recipe to make. I will often get the dry ingredients all in a bowl and the wet ingredients in a jar in my fridge, and then in the morning just put them together really fast and throw them in the oven so I don't have to have a lot of prep in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. You can pop it in the oven while you're getting ready, then have that fresh coffee cake. It'd be amazing for guests as well.
Right. This is a family favorite. My mother serves it when we go to brunch at her house a lot of times because it's just kind of homey and reminds us of home. It's real simple ingredients, most of the things you have on hand, especially this time of year when oranges are in season.
Absolutely, and last week you had the chocolate soufflés with orange inside it. I didn't know if that was going to work perfectly, and it did in the end. So I totally trust your orange usage here, Marie. And this, once again, it works again here in this coffee cake. It's so good. Thank you very much. And the streusel on top as well. Perfect. Couldn't be any better.
Oh, well, thank you. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Well, if you were trying to follow along or if you missed any of these steps, you can also find this recipe on your website.
Yes, feedyourfamilytonight.com. It's right on the recipes blog tab. And you can also find me at facebook.com/feedyourfamilytonight. I'm there having conversations with people every day.
Perfect. Marie, thank you so much. We're going to take a short break and we will be right back to wrap up GMK. Stay with us.
Thank you.